Hey everyone, welcome to Live with DJ Rossstar. It's Monday, January 26, 2026. And that's right, 34-degree weather will not stop me from bringing you live interviews. Today on the show, we're going to talk to Tokyo Rose. If you have questions, you can post them in the chat below. The show is on every week, usually twice a week, but this week I'm on 3 times because why not? Most of us are snowed in anyway. Why not give you guys what you want? More live interactive interviews. So, if you are watching for the first time, I do hope you enjoy the show. I hope you follow me and come back for more. Tomorrow on the show, we have Demi the Daredevil, and Wednesday, we have Gina Fontanella. But for now, let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for. We're going to talk to Ryan from Tokyo Rose. Here we go, everybody. Hello there.
Dude,
How's it going?
it's going well. It's freaking cold, bro.
Well, you look like you're inside, so you're probably not as cold as me.
Not as cold as you, for sure.
I moved to Texas in June, and I said, it would be really nice to do a show on my nice little patio. I didn't think about if I kept it going, what would happen around this time of the year. But I am having fun, and that's all that matters. Who cares? Just 20 minutes of being cold, and I'll run back inside. Hey, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, man, thanks for reaching out. It's good to touch base again, after all these years.
I looked online. I couldn't find much from the old days, but it looked like you guys did come over when I was in Los Angeles on September 20th, 2006.
That's
So
right.
it would almost be our 20-year anniversary.
Oh, man. What is that, the gold anniversary? I don't know how that goes.
I think you had one more record in 2007, right? And so you probably didn't come over again. That was probably the one and only time I saw you in person.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that. You had all the tech, all the bells and whistles even back then. So.
Yeah, I wish I was better at the tech. I probably could have advanced further. I never was good at learning what to build next or what to buy next. I just kind of bought the stuff and kept it going until it broke.
That's how you do it, man.
So welcome. We have a lot to talk about. So introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ryan from Tokyo Rose. We were a band back in the early to mid 2000s, and we kind of hung it up for a bit, and we're back. So hope you're ready for it.
When did you start talking about coming back, or did you talk about it every couple of years and it just kind of went away?
No, pretty much we hung it up directly after our last tour. Our last official tour was with Bayside and 4 Year Strong and Straight Light Run.
That's a huge tour. Wow.
Yeah, it was an amazing tour. It was it was right around when the Giants beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I remember that because we were at a show. One of our last shows was in Providence, Rhode Island. And a bunch of the guys in Bayside are from New England, so they were rooting for the Pats, and us Jersey boys are rooting for the Giants, and it was a fun night, a really fun tour. I mean, awesome to see Straight Light, Bayside, and 4 Year. 4 Year was just coming up at that point.
Oh yeah.
They were shredding every night, so it was a really cool tour.
So did you talk about I guess when was the first moment? Do you remember when you said, "Okay, let's get back together"?
Yeah, it's a funny story. Our buddy John Damiano, he pretty much runs the Emo Night Karaoke outfit, messaged us all separately and was like, hey, I don't think you guys ever did a reunion, but do you guys ever consider it? And we were like, oh, we all kind of moved on. All life happens, kids, families, stuff like that. And but we reached out to each other and we are like, hey, is this guy John for real? You guys want to do this? And we all said yes, and this was about the summer of 2024.
Okay.
So then, we were all kind of on summer break and all on vacation. Then we came back, in September. We started, practicing and getting back together, basically preparing for a show at Crossroads, which is a legendary venue here in Jersey, where a lot of bands had their reunions, funnily enough. And one show went really well. Turned into 2 or 3 that weekend. back, and that was like end of November 2024. And then we just started, kind of getting together, playing shows whenever people would have us. And, in those practices and stuff, started writing music again, which is crazy to say.
Over those 10 plus years of not being a band, did you at least by yourself sing or play an instrument, or did you have nothing to do with music?
Yeah, I did a little things here and there, kind of like helping friends out, playing different instruments, and then I got like involved at church, playing guitar at church, so that kind of kept me going, doing
Good.
things. Yeah, man.
Okay, so you're still in it. I like that.
Yeah, a little bit.
So now are you super into this? Are you ready to quit your job, leave the family behind, and hit the road, or what's the story?
I can't say too much on Instagram, but no, I mean, it's been a lot of fun with the boys, a lot of fun reconnecting with people across the country, and doing new music again. So we'll see what happens.
You have one song out right now. I guess that means there's more coming.
Yep, that's right. We have an EP on the way. We just released, was it last week? Something Sweeter, which is the first single off of that EP.
Yes.
And we've recorded 4 songs. We're gonna do 5 by the end of this quarter, and then yeah, we'll see what happens from there.
How old are these songs? Did you just write them as you got back together, or did you have some of these laying around from years ago?
Yeah, great question. We had some stuff kind of in the vault that never like was gonna see the light of day, and then funnily enough, so Chris and I were in Tokyo Rose pretty much from like its inception.
Yes.
And then Matt and Sean played with us at different times. And then they went on to play in different bands. So when we got back together, those were the guys we reached out to because they were kind of the best guitar player and best drummer that we got to play with in our time. So when we got back together, we all kind of brought different influences, different musicality. So these songs kind of started one way and were kind of recorded that way in GarageBand, 15 years ago. And then they kind of came to fruition as we started to come back together.
I know you did have a lot of members. Do you know the exact total? Because Wikipedia, you don't have listed everybody, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, and as we have like, ridden in the van together and stuff, we're like, do you remember this guy? Oh, do you remember that guy? Like he played for one show. Because
Wow, you had one show kind of guys. That's crazy.
yeah, we have a couple one show kind of guys, a couple only on the record guys, and then some guys who played with us for a long time, but never got to record. So Sean played with us and both Matt and Sean played with us for about a year each, and neither of them were on any recordings. So now they're both on the new stuff. Yeah.
So out of the 4 guys that are in the band now, who did you not talk to for the longest amount of time?
Oh man, I would probably say Chris and I kind of, we both stopped Tokyo Rose, and then we hadn't really, life kind of got in the way, and we like kind of, fell out of touch for the better part of a decade and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's hard. Do you have separate friends, or did you have no, friends to hang out with on the side when you weren't doing family stuff?
Yeah, I think so Chris relocated to Eastern PA.
Okay.
And I've kind of been in Jersey the whole time. I kind of moved to Hudson County, which is closer to like Manhattan and stuff. So it's been it's been a minute. It's funnily enough, like his sister like lived around the corner from me. We didn't even know it.
Wow.
For a time. But yeah, we were both busy just like trying to make things work, now that we weren't. I mean, Chris was still in bands and still touring as a tour manager and stuff. But it was just, we hadn't really just reached out. It's just life was crazy,
Wild. So was it weird at first, or did you just pick up like it was yesterday?
It was, like it was weird reaching out, like when John was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do this?" And you're like, "Hey, I don't know if I have your number anymore," because like I had a new number, so we had to like track each other down like through Facebook, and then we did finally get in touch, and it was like picking up, like with old friends for sure.
Whose idea was it to make new music, not just play shows and do the remaster of the last record, or not the last record, the middle record?
Yeah, I think we all collectively said, "Hey, this is fun. Like, you want to I have this like jam that I've been like, kicking around for, 10, 15 years. You want to try it out?" And it just happened, that the way it came together was it just felt natural. It felt right. And then we just said, let's give it a go. Let's kick it down the road and see what happens.
Did it change a lot from when you wrote it 15 years ago, or is it pretty much the same exact song or song?
I think it's changed because of, having this arrangement of musicians. Like we all bring a different flavor, a different ingredient, So it's kind of like maybe what started out as like a chicken noodle soup kind of became more spicy and more of like a gumbo.
I love that. What about your first show back when you did the reunion? Were you super nervous, or did it feel like natural, like it was yesterday also?
Well, these guys, Chris is an amazing musician. Sean is an amazing musician, and so is Matt. So it's like when those guys came together, I was like, I don't know if I can sing these songs. I don't know if I remember the words anymore. I was like toying with it, like trying to get like an iPad on stage so I could like see the lyrics. But it all came back. It's like riding a bike.
What was the hardest song lyrically to remember?
So Chris had written a few songs on the New American Saint album that we would love to play, and they felt so natural to play live. But I was like, I gotta remember what those words were.
Yeah.
I gotta go on like azlyrics.com and figure out what these lyrics were.
And you did. Well, can you trust AZ lyrics to know if those were even correct?
I went to AZ Lyrics. I suspended all disbelief and just went with it. But then as we started playing, I was like, hey, that didn't feel quite right. So let's like workshop that a little bit.
So at this point, how many shows do you know about that you're going to play this year, if you haven't announced where they are yet?
Yeah, no, we haven't announced. And personally, I don't even know. I know that we've got at least one, if not two, in the works for this first quarter. And then, we're trying to figure it out, like I said, life. And like I'm a teacher, so
Great,
I
great.
can figure it out where my school breaks are and stuff like that.
Where do you teach?
I teach preschool here in Jersey City.
Wow. Anything to do with music, or I mean, I guess you're teaching them everything. So music's
Yeah,
probably
teaching a
involved.
little bit of everything. I have a little ukulele in the classroom with me that I like.
Wow. Is this something you wanted to do even back in the day, or 10, 15 years ago you thought the band was going to be it? Or was that like
Well,
your backup plan and always?
yeah, it was kind of a backup plan. I'd always like worked in schools and in children's centers and stuff like that. So yeah, it was just kind of a natural thing after the band, tapered off.
What do you think was you did a lot of cool stuff. I mean, you mentioned the tour before Bayside. Do you have like a moment that you talk about that was like the highlight for Tokyo Rose the first time around? Like where you just felt
Yeah.
like you had accomplished something that you never thought was possible?
Yeah, I mean, I was reminiscing with the guys, like we got to play in Japan a couple times,
Wow, that's
two
cool.
separate tours over there. And then just being on tour with Taking Back Sunday. I mean, Fred is still a dear friend. He's recording, he's the producer on our EP.
That's great.
So just like seeing those guys, like Fred has been a longtime friend, like seeing him from Eastern PA with like bands like Breaking Pangea and then All Color Fred stuff, like getting to work with him and then getting to be on stage with them, back then was like, yeah, nothing could beat it.
Well, you say that, but maybe this time around you can beat it. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, man? Like we're game. We're game. Like, life has happened, but like we're gonna just roll with, wherever the wind blows.
By the way, we are live, so if you have questions, you can post them in the chat. Weird Fishes said, "Did you try to scream any? And how was doing that after all that time?"
It wasn't really part of my tool belt, my utility kit. So we kind of left it for in the studio.
Ah,
I mentioned Fred because Fred sang on a song that Chris wrote on the new State album, and I was like, Fred, like I can't do it, but if you want to go for it, you have like one of the coolest voices in all of music. So he went for it. It sounded pretty awesome.
how do you think you sound compared to back in the day? You think you're able to hit the notes as well as you thought you'd be able to? What's
You
your own
know,
review? What's your own review?
Yeah, no, I think I can almost get there. I think of guys, from like the scene, like Will from Cartel, like how beautiful his voice always was. and he can still do it. You know, seeing clips of them on Warped and stuff, it's like, oh man, he still got it. But I'm kind of like, I'm probably like a B minus, you know, compared.
Nothing wrong with changing the key change, or, with changing the key. I saw
Totally.
Boys Like Girls have a live album they put out
Oh
last
wow.
year, and a lot of the songs now Martin is singing in a different key because
Oh yeah.
those are just too high to do nowadays.
Yeah. 20 years later, it's tough.
So how long do you see this going now? I mean, there's no end plan, of course, but can you picture yourself balancing life better than you thought, doing preschool and music?
Yeah, you know, I think it's all a matter of you know, if people want to see us, people want us to come out. You know, I think that's how we structured all of last year. Like we had friends who were getting back together too. You know, our buddies in Park, our buddies in Beautiful Mistake and Audio Karate, buddies in Junior Varsity were like, hey, you guys are kind of doing stuff again. Why don't we do like a weekend and see if we can stretch that out and, you know, repeat it this time, going to places that we hadn't been last year.
What else can you tell us about the new songs that we haven't heard yet? Can you tell us the names or anything? Any kind of
Yeah.
breaking news here?
I mean, there was a little bit of a leak. Our buddy, the Witzard, kind of released. The EP is going to be called Phoenician Fire. You know, all about kind of just how this rising flame that never died,
It's great.
and is coming back. And you can expect, you know, that kind of elder emo meets pop punk that the Tokyo Rose has always done. And because, again, like Matt and Sean hadn't recorded with us in the past. They bring such musicality to these songs that that maybe wasn't there before. So it's a lot of fun. It's Tokyo Rose, but somehow new, which we didn't expect.
Do you have a place to put the lyrics if people want to read them in case you don't do a physical release?
Um, no, not yet, but you know, we're open to suggestions for sure.
Besides AZ lyrics typing them up, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
iTunes has lyrics too, but I think Apple just has it automated because a lot of the time they're not correct.
right,
We
right.
want to
No,
make sure they're 100% accurate.
yeah, no, we'll put them up wherever we can for sure. I think, you know, we're gonna have a physical release with New American Saint coming out on vinyl. You know, the hope is that we put something else on vinyl. You know, I do see kind of this resurgence of cassette tapes.
Oh man,
Uh, you know, I don't know if anybody has players anymore, but it would be cool to do, you know, some cassettes too.
I sold a bunch of my cassettes when I moved from Nashville, and I feel like I got ripped off because now I hear they're coming back, and I
Yeah,
probably should have charged a lot more. I had like Dr. Dre in there, and like
yeah,
Candlebox and Bush and all these old '90s bands.
for sure.
Gave away like 50 cassettes. Like, oh, here's $10.
Right. And also, you know, what sells love but a mixtape made for somebody, you know?
I don't think they even make cars with a cassette tape though, so I don't know where you'd even play it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I guess you'd have to buy a boombox, like you just said, if you want to listen to it at home.
There we go.
Or they just want to have it, right? And they'll get the download anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the way, we do have a few more minutes before I turn into an icicle. I can't complain though. I know where you are in New Jersey, it's probably, what are you up to? 7 inches of snow, a little bit more.
I think we were close to 10 last time I checked.
So you had a day off today from preschool. That's great.
That's right. That's
But
right.
when you're a teacher, do you ever actually have a day off, or are you always working on the next project?
You're always kind of keeping the, you know, moving the needle. So,
Do you have time to do music now when you're off, or is that not on your mind? Like every time you get home from work now, are you thinking, should I write another song, or should I go do some social media, or are you not handling all that?
yeah, no, I'm coming to you from my, you know, my basement kind of bonus rec space. I'll just flip it around real quick. I got.
I think we just lost you. Perhaps that was a dangerous idea. I think we lost you for a
Yeah.
second doing that.
There we go. So I got a little, you know, booth going. I'm sitting at the electric drum set right now.
Nice. What was downstairs before you brought the band back? Just a bunch of junk?
Oh, just, you know, well, on the other side is my kids like matchbox
Ah,
collection.
that's the real reason for the basement.
Exactly.
Wow. A lot of the younger artists that I'm interviewing are doing features where they're on each other's songs. Is it something you'd want to do in the future, like either an old band or a new band, have them do a guest spot on one of your songs?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like working with Fred and Steve at Diver Down Studios, like they're both, you know, Fred is like my hero in terms of, you know, musicality and musicianship. And Steve is an amazing musician too, you know, having those guys produce us, but then also like, hey, like, can we get you on a gang vocal or get you on a, you know, on a feature? Like, can you sing the bridge of this part? Like, that's always what we want to do. You know, and buddies in Park and Beautiful Mistake, like Weird Fish talked about the like the vocal fry and screaming. Like our buddy John in Beautiful Mistake has like the best scream in all of rock and roll. So it's like trying to get those guys on tracks would be dope.
I'm gonna look this band up when we're done because you said the best scream. I gotta hear it now.
Oh yeah, he sounds like a T-Rex.
I want to say one thing before we wrap it up today. I am on every week now, usually twice a week, but this week we did 3 because why not? We're snowed in, right? And I will be back tomorrow with Demi the Daredevil, and then on Wednesday with Gina Fontanella. You can follow me here. Go back on my page like you've done and watch some of my old interviews with Less Than Jake, Sugar Cult, Hit the Lights. And if you jump on YouTube, look up DJ Rossstar, you'll find a lot of work I've done over the last 20 plus years at Warped Tours and interviews in my old apartment. And unfortunately, no Tokyo Rose DJ Rossstar 2006 interview. And sadly, we don't have that content. I wish we did, huh?
Not yet. You know, it's got to be somewhere.
I didn't think back then. I wish, you know, you just don't know till it's too late. I wish I had recorded everything myself. I just relied, I guess, on the different websites I was streaming on to save all my content, and sometimes they didn't, and that was the end of it. The end of that. Yeah. So if I could go back in time, I would definitely record every single thing at least on a camcorder, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything else you want to tell everybody before we go? All the links they should check out and where they can find the new song.
Yeah, no. So we put out a single called Something Sweeter. It's on everywhere you can find music, Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal. Check it out. And yeah, keep an eye out for Phoenician Fire coming out this year. You can find us on Instagram at Tokyo Rose NJ. We're on TikTok. We're not on YouTube officially, but yeah, find us there. We love to talk, to meet, and yeah, just keep you guys up to date on what's happening.
Awesome. And I haven't done it in my studio yet because now I'm here in Texas. But if you ever find your way down here again with the band, maybe we can do like an in studio like the old days and just have you all stand next to me instead of on videos.
Yeah, that would be great. We would love to come down to Texas for sure.
Hey, thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ross.
Thank you all for watching, and whoever is watching the replay, thank you for watching as well. And good luck, and let's keep in touch, okay?
Absolutely, man. Take care.
Have a good day. Stay warm. I'm going in. Bye, guys.